Hey everyone, so I am going to do my pregnancy update, and it is a lot of weeks. It's like my 23 to 26 weeks updates. I'm 27 weeks, but I'm only 27 weeks one day, so I'm going to be updating you on the previous weeks. So I apologize for the fact that I haven't been posting these videos, these like vlogs about my pregnancy, but there's been a million and one things going on. I was going to do a separate video of this, but I just decided now I'll sort of tack it into this video. So, it started off with Eva and I being really sick and having the stomach flu, and then me having strep throat and an ear infections, and then Eva having an ear infection. So trying to kind of battle all of that stuff. Then Steve was supposed to work for 8 weeks, but at like 7 weeks, one day he ended up getting taken to the hospital for like severe abdominal pain. So he went to that hospital, and they transferred him to a different hospital, and they did tons and tons of testing, and then they decided to just go in to do surgery to see what was wrong, and they ended up giving him an appendectomy. So if you don't know what an appendectomy is, he had his appendix removed. So his appendix was removed. When he did have all the testing done, they did find a mass that was in his right upper kind of by like where your love handle would be. So they found the mass, and they said that when he came back to Vancouver, he needed to book an MRI and to see whether or not that it was cancerous or what it was, and just to figure all of that out. So Steve came home a few days after. He was in the hospital for 5 days there. And then he finally came home, and then we were I was still recovering from being sick and from the strep throat and everything, and Eva was still getting over her cold. And then for the past few days, Steve has been feeling really sick again. So we weren't sure why he's been feeling so sick. It was kind of like, just we thought, well, he's just recovering, so we didn't really make a big issue out of it. But the pain that he was having, the abdominal pain, started to get worse and worse. So yesterday I took him to the hospital. He was at the hospital all day, and they did an MRI to see what was going on with this mass that he had, to see if that's what was causing the pain. Because they couldn't really understand why they didn't biopsy it or remove it in Alberta, but for whatever reason, they didn't. So anyway, it turns out that basically, I guess it's just an infection, and that it has decreased a lot in size since his first scan in Alberta. So that's good. And they said that it doesn't seem or appear like it has characteristics of cancer. So it looks like we don't have to worry about that. So thank goodness for that. And yeah, so anyway, they did all of that, but of course they had to find something, what the reason was for all this abdominal pain. So the reason why he has been having all this abdominal pain is because not only is Steve recovering from an appendectomy, he also has shingles. So that's not very nice, and it's very painful. So now he's on some antiviral medication and some painkillers, and he has some topical ointment for it as well. So he is just feeling really rough, and this has been so hard, on all of us, just because initially when he was in the hospital, I wasn't able to be there. He was in a different province. His family was in Mexico. My family was in Hawaii. So we didn't really have any family support at that point, and it was just awful. The whole experience was awful, and having him gone, and then finally he comes back, but he's still not feeling well, and it's just horrible. So we've just been going through like hell, like just to put it just like how it really is, because it just is awful. It was horrible. But luckily now, I guess that we know that he has shingles, and we don't have to worry as much about this mass. He's still going to be having that biopsied, and we will be able to find out exactly what it is. But in the meantime, we'll be waiting. So hopefully we'll all understand why I'm so behind, and I really do apologize for that. So I'm going to start off with my symptoms. I do have new symptoms. So first off, the sciatic nerve pain I was having has improved. I have not gone to the chiropractor or the physiotherapist because, as I've said, I've had so much stuff going on, and the last thing I felt like doing was leaving Steve to go for appointments or going out and then not having anyone to look after Eva, because I didn't want to be taking her out when it was snowing here, it was cold, and she was sick. So, no appointments like that. I will be going probably either this week or next week. Oh, excuse me. Next is like the numbness in my legs. Still lots of numbness in my legs and my feet on my left side. Backache still. I'm still tired. I find that sort of is getting more and more increasing as I get bigger and bigger. There's been lots of headaches off and on. I shouldn't say lots, like few and far between, really. There have been headaches, lots of them, but far between. I've been feeling very emotional, which, I'm an emotional person as it is. I cry at sad commercials and sad movies, and when people tell me sad stories and things, and I cry when I watch lots of videos on YouTube. So that's just who I am. But when I'm pregnant, I cry especially. Steve's just looking at me like I'm totally nuts.
Like your pregnant wedding speech?
Yes. I made a speech at our friend's wedding when I was, how pregnant was I? 32 weeks, something like that. I was very pregnant. And I could not make it through it with being so choked up, and I was crying, and I screwed up the whole speech, and it was like in front of, 100 people or so, and it was embarrassing, but oh well. At least they knew it was very heartfelt. Okay, and then heartburn, lots of heartburn, off and on. Some days no heartburn, other days tons of heartburn. As far as my appetite's going, it's getting better. I'm getting more of an appetite. I'm feeling a little bit less nauseous. I have moments where I feel really nauseous, but it's less consistently nauseous. But I'm still vomiting all the time, especially now more in the mornings. I still have my chest is still sore, nipples are still very sore. I still am leaking a little bit of colostrum, and my nipples and my areolas and everything are definitely darkening. My feet, now these are all new symptoms now. My feet are swelling, and like my ankles and the bottom, sort of like my shins and my calves a little bit, getting a little bit swollen. I have varicose veins, which I had one varicose vein with Eva, but I've got varicose veins in my legs, in my groin, and my crotch, unfortunately. So that's not very pleasant, and they can be painful, and they don't look very nice. So I'm going to be trying some compression tights, I think is what they're called, for that, and talking to my doctor more about that. I'm just trying to put my legs up as much as I can, and when I feel tired, to rest. My gums have been swelling a lot and bleeding and just being really, really sensitive. So I'm quite sure that I have pregnancy gingivitis, which I have with Eva. But I will be going to the dentist on the 16th, so I will let you guys know what he has to say about that. I've been having a lot of leg cramps at night, which Steve thinks is because I'm not drinking enough water, which very well could be because I haven't been drinking as much water as I should be. Or I don't know, it could just be being pregnant, because I would drink a lot of fluid with Eva and still get leg cramps as well. So I don't know what that's from. Lots and lots and lots of movement. Like I'm feeling like rolling more now, and I can feel certain, I can actually tell like what certain body parts are. So that's pretty cool. And I felt Eva have hiccups for the first time. Or Mila. Felt Mila have hiccups for the first time. So that was neat. Sorry, Steve's like totally distracted me here. One thing I've noticed, I've been cold all the time. Like I feel like really cold. Like I went through a stage where I was like too hot all the time. Now I feel like I'm too cold all the time. And then more trips to the bathroom, peeing more and more, especially at night. I have to wake up usually once at night to go to the bathroom. And a long, long list of my cravings. So, these are my cravings. Lime popsicles, McDonald's sundaes and smoothies, Reese's Pieces Puffs, cereal, grapefruits, apples, oranges, tea, cookies, desserts of any kind, ice cream, Cadbury cream eggs, chocolate, nachos, and especially, for as far as desserts go, brownies. So, can't get enough of any of those. I've had lots of cravings, and I will admit that I've pretty much given in to every single one of them. So, that's it, really, as far as my update goes. I did go and see the doctor, and I still haven't gained any weight over my pre-pregnancy weight. I gained back the weight that I lost when I was really sick at the beginning, but I haven't gained any extra weight. Which she said, like, I lost a lot of weight, so she isn't too worried about it, and the baby's fine. The baby is measuring ahead. So we're not worried about it right now, and I will be going for my glucose test to see, about gestational diabetes within the next few days. I got to make the appointment for that to go. So I'll be doing that, and I will be going, I think it's on the 21st, to see my OB. So Steve will get to hear the heartbeat for the first time, so that's exciting. So that's it for now. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my, well, it's technically my 27 week, but only just 27 week belly. And then I will probably have a little pause and then do my measurement, and then I will post a bunch of pictures that I've been taking too. So here we go. And I pre-warn you, there's a little mess on the table for those of you who have commented in my previous videos about my house being a mess. Okay. And this is so not a maternity shirt, so. Here I am from the side, and from the front. And these are Steve's pajama pants, so that's why they're a bit big. And without the shirt, and from the front, and the side, and as you can see, my belly button is totally out. Still no belly button ring, no stretch marks or anything. I feel like my belly is getting rounder and rounder. And then I will measure my belly. Well, I'm about 39 inches around. Yeah, and my chest has grown because I'm 39 inches around right now. So that's it for these weeks. So it'll be week 23 through 26. Thank you so much for watching.